Years do you have on the ballot?
This expansion era, you could probably keep going.
Oh, there's not a certain number that you...
15 on the initial ballot.
Okay.
Yeah. And then after that, you rotate to the different eras now, which I think, I give the Hall of Fame credit. They're trying to expand the opportunities for players that may have gotten lost in the big numbers, the 3,000s and things like that. There's so many very good players. And I could rattle off a bunch of them right now that could easily match guys in the Hall of Fame now. But if you, and the guys in the Hall of Fame deserve to be in there. It's like anything. But I think the Hall of Fame needs to expand and maybe even make a couple of determinations on them. Maybe pick a player or two each year that has really made a difference in the game of baseball. I mean, I was a bat boy in spring training in 1956 for the Brooklyn Dodgers. My dad was a Greyhound bus driver. Came home the night before and said, "You want to skip school tomorrow?" I said, "Yeah, what are we doing?" So I got a charter to pick up the Brooklyn Dodgers tomorrow. Take you to St. Pete to play the Yankees, an exhibition game. And he said, "I think it might be a fun day for you and I." And the next day, here I am bat boying for the Dodgers. It was Jackie Robinson's last spring. And Hodges and Reese are talking about the Yankee pitcher and how he's holding the ball for a breaking ball and a fastball. And not wasting time, not talking about where they're going to dinner, tonight. But just in case 6 months from then, they're facing this pitcher in the World Series, and he does this, it'll be a breaking ball, and if he does this, it'll be a fastball. And my dad and two other gentlemen just started the second Little League in Tampa, and I was going to have my first game, and I really didn't know what they were talking about, but I knew I picked up enough to realize they were waiting, learning, and not wasting time. Robinson sat on my lap. Didn't see me and literally said, "I did anything." Monday show and tell, this is going to be the best story they're going to hear. First grade at Lewis Elementary School. But that day, I went home and Mom had dinner. I was all in child at 7%. That's okay. And she said, "How was your day?" And I kept talking for 35 minutes and went to bed and couldn't go to sleep and kept smelling something. And my dad came in and he said, "Thought you were tired." I said, "Yeah. But Dad, I can't go to sleep." Comes over and he sniffs. He says, that rag on the on-deck circle?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "You got pine tar on your hands. You didn't wash your hands good enough again." And then he looked at me as parents do to their children. He said, "You probably never forget that smell the rest of your life." And I have it. To this day, I've been blessed to be part of the national pastime, and be able to do interviews and promote it and talk about it with you guys and do a few other things too. But that's why this game is so special. We've got to be really careful we don't alter it too much.
I think that we should come out with pine tar cologne. What do you think? Steve Garvey's pine tar.
My middle name's Patrick. So
Steve Patrick Garvey.
So I'll get
pine
51%. He'll get 49.
I can smell it right
It's got to be a summer fragrance because
It's great to see you. And I appreciate you coming in.
I want everybody to try some King's Hawaiian Grills if you're going to be getting some sampling.
The website is kingshawaiian.com. Twitter is @KingsHawaiian. The great Steve Garvey. Back after this, the Dale Patrick Show. This applies
Don't buy an annuity until you understand the pros and cons of annuities. A free book to help you maximize your retirement income from television host and three-time author Josh Melberg has been released. This book reveals little-known truths about annuity strategies in simple-to-understand terms. Grab a pen right now because we are about to offer you this free book that unlocks the 5 little-known secrets we believe baby boomers and seniors should know before buying an annuity. Call 800-986-2178 now, and you'll receive a free copy of Josh Melberg's book, Next Gen Annuity Strategies Revealed. As a bonus, we'll also send you a copy of The #1 Mistakes Retirees Are Making with Their Investments Today, and a free DVD on how you can get up to 33% more income in retirement. Call 800-986-2178 now. Again, that's 800-986-2178. Employees of J.D. Melberg Financial have the appropriate licenses for the products they need for.
If you're a guy in your 20s or 30s, you can ignore this message about prostate cancer. If you're 70 or older, you probably already know what I'm going to say in Australia. But for men closing in on 50 or over 50, prostate cancer screening should be included in your physicals, because early detection makes a big difference in life-saving treatment. When it comes to prostate cancer,
Red Collective.
Still leading 35%, but also LA are tied at 2, and then
Also, some people have tweeted Los Angeles, the Rams with McVay, young stars, Dodgers coming up the World Series, Angels with Trout, Ohtani, Lakers with LeBron. Yeah, they mentioned that Los Angeles, but you're buying that stock at a pretty high price.
I forgot that Sean McVay. That's a nice little tip there.
Let's see, a couple for Boston. Blog with Mike says San Francisco got the Warriors probably going for 2 or 3 more championships. Niners looking promising, and the Giants win a championship every couple of years. Eric Meyer says, not DC, the Redskins are a mess. Wizards locked in mediocrity, and the Nationals are watching their division rivals surpass them. At least we have the Caps in a few more years of Ovechkin. Joey says, how about Phoenix? Ryan Green said San Diego, LOL. Yes, LOL,
San Diego.
All right, best and worst of the weekend, Paulie, what do you have?
I got a couple best, Dan. Best of Wayne Rooney making his debut with DC United. I think it's a great plan they have, MLS, bringing these guys out for the retire. Another best, this just in, Carson Wentz got married over the weekend.
Okay.
Carson Wentz. And that's it.
Okay. McClement, best and worst of the weekend.
Okay, my best is going to be Croatia's fans during the final game. They were going like berserk. It's like SEC fans.
Did you see where Putin was the only guy with an umbrella in the post-match ceremony? It was orange. Did you see the ceremony?
Oh, no,
It was raining so hard.
So how close were they to delaying the game?
I don't know about that, but it felt like...
AZROC 307346, CACSLV 1028256, ORCCB 199939 for details.
Guys know more is better. So this month, Sport Clips Haircuts is thanking our clients with the Sport Clips Instant Replay. It's double the MVP experience for the price of a single. So after your fresh cut, we double the time on your relaxing massaging shampoo. And on our legendary hot steam towel. You can even turn your hot towel into a refreshing chill towel to get the MVP on ice. The Sport Clips Instant Replay. It's a double header on a single head. Check in online today at sportclips.com/check-in. Hey guys, is it time to get your hair in the game? Time to claim your spot! Then it's time to check in online at sportclips.com/check-in for a fresh cut, legendary hot steam towel, and massaging shampoo. So do your hair a favor by checking in online and arrive just in time for your Sport Clips MVP haircut experience while you surround yourself with sports on TV. Get in line online at sportclips.com/check-in. Time to claim your spot!
Demand for top talent is at an all-time high. Account Jobs can help you find highly skilled temporary housing and finance professionals who fit your needs and hit the ground running. Account Jobs, a Robert Half company.
Listening to KWJC Download the KWJC app at 953thescore.com. Your home for sports. KWJC.
The Dan Patrick Show. I would love to have LeBron with the Lakers.
It will ultimately be a super team. I think the only question will be how long does it take? Got the Rolodex of every player in the league. We'll get Kawhi
LeBron is a Laker, leaving Cleveland once again.
Well, the summer of LeBron resolved itself pretty quickly. Welcome to the family, bro. But just because LeBron is settled, what's next in this story, Dan? Doesn't mean there aren't more of the biggest guests and best interviews. It's Mike Trout, the Angels outfield. Bryce Harper, the Nationals, joining us. Dan Patrick Show. Joining us now. Dave Roberts, back on the program. Don't miss a moment by downloading the Dan Patrick Show app today. Major League Baseball is not going to take over the operations of this show, at least not yet. This is the Dan Patrick Show. Commissioner of Major League Baseball, Rob Manfred.
How are you, Dan?
And in celebration of Major League Baseball's All-Star Game, road trip. We travel to the nation's capital for the festivities. You know, I get in that rowboat on the Potomac, and we got a keg, and we are partying. We'll have all the big names.
Do you see us coming in studio next week?
Johnny Bench is going to stop by.
Dodgers legend Steve Garvey, one of the handsomest men in sports history.
Okay, his forearms. How many of our forearms?
Fritzy doesn't have good forearms, he has good biceps. Ooh. Terrible form.
Ooh, okay.
Terrible.
Broadcasting from the Mercedes studio with old garbage forearms. No,
no offense. I mean, in comparison. Non-existent.
It's Dan Patrick. Final hour this Monday, Dan and the Danettes. Dan Patrick Show. A lot of fun with Kevin Millar from the Major League Baseball Network first hour, and then Steve Garvey last hour. He looked senatorial. He looked like he could be a politician there, but the former Dodger great. Start to look at the numbers. Can we find out how many 10-time All-Stars failed to make the Hall of Fame? Because Steve Garvey, 10-time All-Star. Did we get any numbers on that, Paulie?
Just 1 second. We have it from Stats.
Okay. Yes, Fritz.
Don't you think when you started saying I'm Steve Garvey and I approved this interview, I was like waiting for something at the end to wrap it up.
Yes, Paulie.
There's 10-time All-Stars who are not in the Hall of Fame, but it's because of steroid revelations of type. Barry Bonds, Mark McGwire, Manny Ramirez.
Okay.
Elston Howard, he was a Yankee, correct?
Yeah, catcher.
12 All-Star appearances. Bill Freehan, I don't know who he is.
He was a catcher for the Tigers.
Roger Clemens, 11 All-Star appearances. Del Crandall, 11. Ken Boyer was one of the faces of baseball in his generation. You can't deny that.
Yeah, the numbers are impressive, but he got lost a little bit with the Dodgers because it was a great all-around team. In fact, the manager had the biggest personality of everybody with Tommy Lasorda. Yeah, Fritz.
But you mix in the Gold Gloves and the fact that he's part of one of the greatest infields. I know you got your Concepciones and Morgans and Rose and Dreesen, but that's
Perez.
But Say and Lopes and Russell, that's just ridiculously great.
Yeah, it was fun to have him in, though. Yes, McLeod.
Can Todd name more Dodgers from 1983 or current MLB players?
More Dodgers from 83.
Yeah, I'm totally still living in the same.
Oh, and I'm right with him. Yeah. All right, let's see. Coming up, Chris Mannix going to join us. LeBron made his Summer League debut. Those shorts, by the way, those Lakers shorts, $500. I think they're $500.
Yes, indeed.
But it's got the Laker logo right across the front. Yeah, there you go, front. And it's $500.
There's some sort of Mitchell Ness vintage shorts.
Yeah, but I don't remember the Lakers wearing those before.
I think it's a design, like a fancy design.
It looks like a design flaw. That's. But I saw where the shorts are $500 for LeBron.
Looks like, as Kevin Millar was saying earlier, he might not want to wear them.
Yeah.
But
you don't want to draw attention.
Unless you do.
You want to draw attention.
Do we have any Dan Patrick Show gear that has Dan Patrick
I said Beat Friday.
Actually, the D and the P logos, if you did that same Lakers, the D and the P of the logo.
You could do Meat Friday. Remember we were going to do Speedos? We were going to do Speedo Meat Friday with the logo on there?
Oh, dear.
Oh, yes. Oh, dear. All right, best and worst of the weekend. We'll get to your phone calls, your tweets. You can tweet us at DP Show, and our phone number 877-3DP Show. Poll question, McLovin. We started off on this accidentally where we were talking about cities being here in Washington, D.C. If you had a city, a sports city that you could invest in, if it was a stock, what would you invest in?
So Vegas is winning still. They've been leading the whole time. Then Los Angeles and Boston. Last place was D.C. Second to last place, Chicago at 3%. And then Milwaukee, Houston, Bay Area. Then you go to the leaders.
Yeah, who would have thought that Milwaukee / all of Wisconsin would be above Chicago? But when you're thinking of Chicago, you don't have star power. Even though the Cubs are still a very good team, but you don't have, nobody wants to play for the Bulls. Like, you're not getting free agents. Did they just sign Jabari Parker to a 2-year, $40 million deal, and he's had knee surgery twice on his left knee? So he's getting $20 million a year.
Now you know why NFL players are not happy with NBA players.
But I saw that with Todd Gurley, where Gurley said, man, I'd love to just make $80 million. You got guys who were secondary ball players who were making over $100 million. Yeah, Paul.
McLovin always says that teams tank in different ways. The Jabari Parker signing, if he works out, he's worth it. If he flames out, then your team stinks another year. You get a high draft pick. Is that the mentality?
Well, I guess so. Well, he's a hometown hero, so they need some interest. He's from there. But that's kind of like the Lakers contracts with Rondo and JaVale. So you take a 1-year risk. If it doesn't work out, you get...
Yeah, but the Lakers aren't spending that kind of money on those guys. Those three guys aren't making what Jabari Parker's making.
Right, but relatively short term. Yeah, I guess if it's Chicago, it's a risk. I mean, you really haven't paid that much Jabari Parker. Today's NBA, I'm sure some players are better. Averaging 14 and 9. Who's gonna laugh now?
Yeah, 14 and 9, and he's making over $100 million in his contract there. But Todd Gurley's got a point, and when it comes to these guaranteed contracts for NFL players, it's not going to change anytime soon. But what you're finding out now is, when Kirk D. Cousins got his guaranteed deal, and I remember telling people that morning when I said, look, he's going to get a guaranteed deal, and it's going to be the highest guaranteed money. And people were like, why would he get it? Well, he had leverage there. The guy who didn't take advantage of the leverage, Russell Wilson Jr. III, he could have gone after the Seahawks and got that he could have gotten $100 million guaranteed. And I think you're going to see Aaron Rodgers, what he's going to get with guaranteed money. There's certain players that are going to get that guaranteed money, and I would rather take a shorter deal where I can get 3 years guaranteed than do 5 years or 7 years. And Kirk Cousins is a good businessman. He's made a lot of money. Doesn't have a whole lot to show for it as far as playoff wins, but he's probably got a really nice house and a big bank account there.
A couple cars.
But he's going to cash in on another big contract here when this one's done.